Hello, my lovelies. Welcome to my channel, Wood is the New Black. My name is Kat. This pick a card reading is about the nature of your connection. It's about the gifts and the lessons that you learn from one another. If you know that you're in a great space with your person, that you have a really loving connection, that you have ups and downs like everybody, but it's all fine. This is probably not your reading. I suspect what's going to come through is people that have had connections and that they're now over, or that you're struggling to understand why you met a person, what that person was there to teach you, and vice versa. Again, the energies, because I'm reading for two people here, can be flipped. So take what resonates and do take a moment, as ever, to go towards your particular image here. I will be picking a number of cards for this one, so I'm not sure if I'm going to stay in the same location. I might have to work off the floor, but there we go. And we've got the mask, the apple, the moon, and the droplet here. So take your time, and as ever, I will see you on the other side. Hi to those of you that chose the mask. As you can see, huge variety of cards. So I'm working off my floor in my bedroom at the moment to try and incorporate them all. And I've spent some time sitting and arranging them into kind of tones or flavor so that it gives me some kind of story. And this is an interesting one. I've put these two cards at the top because these, for me, sum up this relationship. So we've got the Libra card up here. So you could be a Libra, they could be Libra. It doesn't have to be the case. For me, this is about justice in the tarot deck. And justice, for me, is a karmic card, and especially next to karmic relationship. And it says fleeting triggers, turmoil, resentment, lessons, letting go, and loving you. And that loving you energy feels like loving you, self-love. Because over here we've got healthy choices, and it says making healthy choices in love and in life, self-love, self-care, being happier. So for most of you, I think for vast majority of you, this is a relationship that is kind of over. It is completed. With this completion card, felt like it should be bang central. And I think this is the World card in the Osho Zen Tarot deck. And for me, that is like an over kind of an energy. It was an important cycle that you went through with this person. And the connective nature of this cycle was, I feel, to elevate you into a position of power. Because we've got Lilith, who is the power card in this deck. I love this card. And she always encourages an elevation of personal power and recognizing your personal power. And she's sharp, she's intelligent, she's nobody's fool. And for me, this card is also representative of the fact that she won't be in a situation with people unless there is an even give and take, unless there's an equality. Now, I feel like for a lot of you that this person was a friend or a frenemy is what I want to say. It doesn't have to be the case, but the friendship card has come up and the community card came up upside down. So I feel like this is somebody who's like a bad egg. And I'm seeing like Willy Wonka when they flush that like self-entitled little girl because she's just a bad egg. And that is what's coming through, that there's a real sense of self-entitlement about this person. Now, for some of you, this person is a karmic, as in involved themselves in a relationship, or was a third party in a relationship, or maybe had a third party in your relationship, or something like that, because the Trian card came out here, and as you can see, it's a triangle, and it's making me think of a third party. If they weren't a third party energy, I feel like this person was just really interruptive, or really tried to put a spoke in the wheel, is what I'm feeling to say here. So this Trian card here, it does say as part of its explanation, laziness, temper, abundance as well here, but aptitude, development, talent. These are all words that I'm associating. Talent, development, ease, fluency. These are words that I associate with you. And intelligence. And intelligent came up again over here. And I feel like it's you, and you're pretty sharp. And you suss this person is what I want to say. And I feel like this person, though, was privileged. The unexpected income is down here. And this for me, and we've got the Four of Coins. And I feel like this person was very money orientated. And they could have had quite a bit of money. Maybe more money than you realise that they had, maybe. I think that they, either you had money and they wanted yours and they saw you in a position of status and therefore sort of clung on, is what I'm getting. Cling on energy. They were just, I feel like they associated with or aligned themselves with people that could assist them materially or allow them to elevate financially or in some kind of status arena. Because we've got frivolous coming up, and I feel like they were frivolous with their money. Maybe they were constantly asking for handouts. Doesn't have to be the case, but I think that could well be the case for some of you. For others, I think this person flashed the cash, is what I'm getting, because I feel like they thought it would help them integrate in the community. But I feel like they were very frivolous with this energy. It feels indulgent. It feels squandered, is my sense here. And I feel like underlying this person was really insecure. Now we've got Villa, the shape-shifting card. And I feel like this person just projected different things to different people depending on the crowd, depending on who they were with. But it was all about trying to project an image of being light, footloose, fancy-free, kind of sprightly, youthful is what I'm getting as well. A kind of young energy. Maybe they are young, but there's this kind of look at me kind of a feeling going on. And I think that they wanted to be admired, and maybe they were jealous. I think for some of you, but I actually think that they were just very self-involved for most of them. And here, Iggy Pop, don't waste time growing up. Turn rejection into an art form. I mean, don't waste time growing up. That feels to me very immature. That feels that frivolous energy is in that space for me. Turn rejection into an art form. I think this person was very scared of being rejected and very clingy potentially, or like a hanger-on within a community or in a friendship circle is what I'm feeling to say here. But this community card being in reverse, I feel like maybe some members of your community did not fall for this, or just didn't connect with this. Maybe actual friends of yours didn't connect or gel with this person, or saw them as a bad egg. I just think that these would be people that are not impressed by somebody flashing the cash. And this person that you are connected to, this karmic energy, I feel like this person struggles to fit in, and part of their way of fitting in is to kind of buy affection, or seemingly be abundant, or seemingly be generous. But it feels like it might be like Trustafarian energy, like not their money. Maybe they inherited it. Maybe there's a payout here. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like this person works particularly. Or maybe even if they do work, because we do have the work card up here, there is some kind of projection or within their working situation, or that they use it to buy their image is what I'm getting. And maybe they're very into fashion as well here, that he is very well turned out. It's very sort of luxurious, the energy. But this guy always, always makes me pause in this deck, and I do love Sarah Manchetti's decks, like Manchetti, I never know how to say it, but they are so expressive. It's part of the reason why this was my only deck for about 10 years, because I just feel like his characters come alive, and this person watched you closely. It feels like it's hoarding. It feels like it's lauding as well. And this person did not reveal their true self. In fact, underneath this energy, there's real cowardice. And I really feel that this person was intended, because up here we've got koala spirit, spirit has a plan, intended to push you into being able to confront something, possibly with this person, possibly with a person you were involved with, maybe if this is a third party, doesn't have to be though, or maybe because they had a third party, because some of your energies mirrored, and I feel like the energies that mirrored were the insecurity, the sense of feeling on unsafe ground, so a sense of feeling that you needed to cling on a little bit to your realms of security, which may not have been money. Maybe you were just feeling a little bit inflexible, or maybe things had got too much in the groove, in a routine is what I'm getting. But I feel like you'd started to make steady progress. We've got the pushing upward card here, steady progress, gaining confidence, accepting challenges, a promotion and receiving recognition. So in some way I feel like you were advancing. And this person watched and didn't like it. I think they felt kind of poor by comparison, regardless of the money, of whether you had money or they had money. There's this sense of poverty, of materialism only really means something so profound to a person when they feel like they're lacking in some other way, in some vital way. And whether they've got loads of money or next to no money, they're defining their self-worth by the material elements, by maybe how they look, by flashing the cash, or just constantly asking and clinging on for the sake of holding on to money, or holding on to a sense of security, but this person has got that confused with a stable foundation. Not to say it can't help, but it doesn't, in tarot terms, it's not solid ground to build solely on the material. And this person feels like a bit of a mess. I mean, Iggy Pop is it's not known for like being all together, if you know what I mean. And I do feel like this person was fearful of rejection. And I'm getting that sense of jealousy or feeling lesser than you, but I also feel that was something that might have been mirrored in this situation as well. I think that it kind of shifted backwards and forwards, this energy between you. And I am still speaking in the past tense about this person. I'm going to pause, hang on, I'm just going to have a think. Okay, right, yeah, sometimes I have to kind of, spirit's like, take a break, have a think, come back. I feel like this person was very superficial, actually. And I think they had like a basic knowledge of things, but I'm not getting specialist knowledge. I am getting, however, specialist knowledge with you, especially in the capacity of your work, this work bag up here. Maybe you met this person at work, maybe you worked together. It doesn't have to be the case, but I feel like there's something to do with your profession or professionalism that was a trigger, I feel, for this individual. Or maybe it was a trigger for you. Again, you can flip this energy if it makes sense to you. But the negative energy that has come off this person is quite pronounced for me. There is some kind of strategy. Look at his face. He's so strategic, this energy. It's so sly, like behind this sort of pretense of idiocy is what I want to say, because Iggy Pop does look a bit like an idiot in this. And Villa, with this kind of light, like frivolous, kind of free kind of energy, I feel like actually behind the scene, this person was very strategic. And yeah, Spirit is showing me chess playing here. So this person was trying to outmaneuver you in some way, shape or form. And this is about, okay, my guide is saying, know thy enemy. So this was actually about understanding who the enemy was, like what your enemy was. Okay, so hang on. My guide is saying to know your enemy is to know your boundaries, and to become more discerning, become sharper with this intelligent energy. And now I'm seeing like King and Queen of Swords. It's like this overview, this ability to be very discerning and very clear cut. And maybe that was part of the challenge here. Maybe part of the challenge was in severing this energy, because I do feel like some of you had to draw this to completion. But I feel like this person duped you for a little bit of time. Or maybe you knew that there was a pretense, but it wasn't confronted. Not immediately. I feel like there was some kind of fear that you had to face, and some kind of courage that you had to claim, that felt, because you felt in a very vulnerable space. And with this abysmal card here, all this water energy, I feel like maybe this person really triggered an enormous amount of emotion in you. And it took a royal amount of effort, I'm feeling, to push through this situation. But I think that things were climbing. You were receiving a recognition. Your energy was starting to promote. And then I feel like you were slammed a little bit. And you had to take a break with the Four of Swords down here. You had to recuperate from this situation. You had to rest. And then we've got Bob Dylan, nostalgia is for two-time losers. So there's an energy shift that I feel then occurred with you in this situation. And part of your connection was to shift this energy. This person could have, for some of these people, conducted some kind of ritual magic, some kind of black energy. It feels very heavy. And even if they didn't have much knowledge of that, I feel like their intentional energy was to harm, was to undermine, was to win, was to have you emotional and defeated. Maybe they were trying to get in on a relationship. Maybe they were playing you with somebody else. But there was this sense of empowered energy in other people's feeling small, which is why they'll wind up with no community, no friends, and all they've got to show for it is either begging energy or trying to buy friendship, is what I'm getting. I feel like this connective energy for you was intended for you to hold on to your power and to turn the situation to your advantage. And if you're, I don't know where you are on the timeline, so if you're not in that space yet, this is what Spirit is saying, that reclaiming your power is the way to put this energy back in your court. And the snake that Lilith is like part snake in this image, it's all about transforming, it's all about shedding the skin, it's all about elevating, it's all about, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I feel like Spirit had you, or is having you, listen very closely to your intuition, to paying attention to details, to inspiration. And there's this sense of claiming warriorship here, like picking up your weaponry and doing battle. And I don't usually say, go into battle, but there's something about the energy of feeling overwhelmed or lacking courage or feeling like it was hazardous, that it was unpredictable, the outcome as to whether you would win. I think that there was a moment of respite and this final piece of the puzzle that fell into place where you worked out suddenly with your super intelligence and with your skill set, you knew what was happening in this situation, and it was like a kind of horrifying realization is what I'm getting. And it may have come to you during sleep or meditation for some of you. And I just feel like you were able to then go, you know what? I've had to put all these puzzle pieces together, but this is the final piece, and I know exactly what I'm dealing with now. And this person was no longer able to kind of leech off your energy or try and like be you. For some of these people, they wanted to compete with you with that chess, or be you, or but there's so much immaturity. In a way, it was because they saw in you what you were yet to see in yourself. It was actually what they needed to trigger in terms of your climb, in terms of your rise, especially in a working capacity, on a sense of taking yourself seriously on a professional level. So this person, did you a favor, and that actually is what karma is for. It's not here to punish us. It is a spiritual connection in one way or another. It often is past life related. It's often a rebalancing of the scales, and sometimes it calls to confront in like a battle type energy. It may have been that this person was here as well to point out some kind of character weakness, something that you were missing before this person entered in. And so I feel that the nature of this relationship was intended for you to see more clearly, be more discerning, be more clear cut, confront your demons, because I just think that they brought out a lot of emotional turmoil, but there was almost like a purging. And I do feel like a lot of you have needed to purge. If you haven't done that yet, please do. Like, sage yourself, sage your house, sage your energy, like purge yourself of this person's negative auric energy, because I feel like they put a lot at you on a dark energetic level to try and break you, or to try and take you out, or just they wanted to see you defeated. It's almost as if in a past situation you were competitors, or you were rivals, or you were in combat of some, but this is like spiritual weaponry. So I feel like for a lot of you, you already have done this and you've drawn a conclusion, and you've taken the energy back, and the way that you reclaim this energy and you even up the scale is by pouring it into yourself. And so many of these cards are so incredibly positively self-orientated, healthy choices, making healthy choices in love and in life, self-love, self-care. And I feel like here Bob Dylan is saying nostalgia is for two-time losers, and you've got to a point where you're like, I don't want to think about this. Whoops. I don't want to think about this situation anymore. And it says as well, don't mistake the mansion on the hill for paradise. And I think that's how you saw this person. Like, you have this white picket fence concept, or this belief. This person had this belief that money would be the answer, or prestige, and Bob Dylan, he was the voice of the generation. So maybe there's something here to do with voicing or being an advocate for. Some of you could work in the legal system as well here, for others, articulating that which needs to be articulated, seeing the foolishness in this concept. Darkness may be falling, but we're not there yet. So I feel like even though it brought you to this abysmal place, is what I want to say, where you felt completely overwhelmed, incredibly emotional, what this person has done is turned your perception. Darkness may be falling, but we're not there yet. And it doesn't have to be dark. And in fact, it isn't. It isn't, because you've got the Three of Wands up ahead. So there's opportunities in work. that have been born from the situation or will be. And I feel that you're being asked to be really dedicated, really consistent. This promotional energy that I felt might have been interrupted here is reclaiming, or has been reclaimed already. And We Are the World gives me that vibe of the Community card. In here it's in reverse, and maybe it had a big impact. This person may have impacted. There feels like so much stuff behind the scenes, like maneuvering or lying or trying to break a friendship group or break a community sense of space, or, you know, buy loyalties in order to undermine you. Maybe they try to muscle in with your friends. Like I say, I feel like they were rejected potentially. But even if they did succeed and that community followed this person or bought into this fakeness, then you're well shot of all of them, is what I want to say. Because there's petty energy about this. And you're moving into a space where where there's an opportunity to connect with people. And this is, I think it's the 10 of coins in this deck, which is really great, foundational, energetic, really happy community flavor. All these people dancing around the earth. I feel like there's a broad audience, or maybe international work here as well for some of you. And then this tenderness card feels like it's entirely for you. The energy of tenderness activates the capacity to open our hearts and approach the world and each other with gentleness and care. And I feel like that is a whole new approach to community space. And it's because this person, who was very likely poisonous, very likely latching on to your energy and feeling like dragged you and your energetic down, because they just wanted to be you. And you're very independent. You're not somebody that's going to settle for anything less than quid pro quo, is what I want to say. And then the Empress card at the end. This is you. This is the person that you either have become or are becoming. And that's the Empress, the integration of the Queen. So maybe there was missing pieces in your queenliness, or your kingliness if you're masculine here. And I feel like there was maybe your discernment energy, or your ability to sever or take a break, or and trust your intuition. Maybe that was interrupted, but now I feel like you have integrated shadow energy. Lilith, very often demonized, but for me this energy is feeling like you've come from a sense of feeling cast out or rejected, but you know it ain't paradise over here. It ain't paradise for this person. Maybe you had an ideal version of how this would turn out, but this ain't paradise, is what I want to say. And you prefer it a little wilder, a little more unpredictable, a little bit edgier, is what I'm getting. And I am feeling that you are, and Spirit has a plan. Spirit is overseeing this, and I feel like you have huge spiritual protection at this point. This grasshopper spirit, take a leap of faith. I feel like you did, or you are taking a leap of faith, especially in your working capacity, especially in dedicating yourself to spiritual energy, because it's designed to get you close to Spirit and to elevate you. You could be a divine feminine. You don't have to be, though. I feel like even if we're dealing with somebody you might have thought was a counterpart, and like I say, there's always soul connection energy, so maybe this person is a counterpart, you're working through the potentially karmic energy that you have between you, or this person is like a frenemy, that sort of thing. It was all designed to make you recognize that with or without a twin flame, you are a divine feminine. And it's activated this incredible power within you. and this sense of feeling okay to be seen, okay to be pissed off about this situation, okay to express your displeasure, okay to sever, okay to complete the cycle, and to recognize in doing so your professionalism, your maturity, your voice. And there's so many awesome opportunities coming in for strong foundational energy. Could have been a family situation for some of you as well, but I feel like there is this sense of community, finding your tribe, finding your family. Lilith was cast out, but she ended up with like loads of demon friends in mythology. I feel like there was a lot of resentment about this person for quite some time maybe, and that could have taken time to process. But I feel that actually you've used that fire force to propel yourself forward and to be like, you know what, I'm not going to dwell. I'm not going to sit in nostalgia anymore. I don't want to be in the dark where this person abides in this really superficial energy, because you are not superficial. There's great depth and great complexity. I feel like you've been through it. You've been through it, and I think that this person possibly demonized you as well, is what I'm getting. There was a lot of behind the scenes bullshit. So there could have been a lot of gossip or lies spread here as well for me. But you are jumping and have jumped potentially already towards spirit, and you are claiming your power. The Empress is holding a flame up here, which she is self-creating. You are self-created, and you are getting, if you're not already, you are becoming so much happier. Like I say, where you are in the timeline, I don't know. But take heart. If you are still dealing with this person, you are nearing a completion. You will need some respite from this situation. And then you will feel so much lighter, so much more powerful. So yeah, I think that's all I've got for you, but I'm loving this. Like, this is the nature of this connection. Be grateful for it, because it is making you the hell of a person that you are. Like, you are phenomenal. Your energy is so powerful, and if you haven't recognized that yet, then you need to recognize it, because you are going to reclaim everything and leave this person wide-eyed and gobsmacked by your climb. So do it. Anyway, really hope that resonated. If it did, please like, subscribe, share. Drop me a comment. It's so lovely to hear from you, and take care. Look forward to reading for you again. Hi to those that chose the apple here. Welcome. So, this is an interesting one. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. As you can see, I'm working off the floor because I chose loads of cards. I just fancied it. And I've arranged them according to how I kind of feel about where they should go. And what I'm getting here primarily... Oh, where do I start? Well, first off, Spirit is showing me a golden thread. So for me, this is a high-level soulmate, high-level spiritual connection that you're dealing with this person. And with karmic connections, at least when they're done and the lesson is learned, they are broken. But with this, there is a no breaking this spiritual connection. There is no breaking spiritual connections. There is a way of mastering them, and that is only found with spirit. It's only found with an expansive form of the love that you felt for that person, and therefore a flexing of the energy. And I feel like this is relevant to you, because I feel like you're learning to master the connection, and part of your experience with this person is to show you how to master a connection like this. That's what it's feeling like. There is huge love here. We've got fourth chakra card up here. And it says down here, the energy of the heart chakra supports our inner guidance system, which is governed by our heart and the capacity to love deeply. And there is enormous love. There is enormous love between you and your person. So this has been very challenging because of the nature of the depth and the intensity of these kinds of connections, which, by the way, are exceptionally rare at this level. They're really rare. And I know this is a general reading, but they are rare. They are very, very rare. So I feel that your person might well be in a relationship with a different person, because we've got Maria Callas up here and Hilda von Bingen up here, and so different. Both talented, but boy, so different. And Maria Callas is my other person card in this deck. If you know for certain your person isn't with another person, I would say that you take this card as an aspect of them, an aspect of themselves, like another part of themselves that are dealing with. And even if they are involved, that is still true. That is still true. And this is a complex one because there are three energies here. There's you, there's your person, and there's their person as well here. Or maybe you're the one in a relationship with somebody else. So do take what resonates and do flip these energies if one bit is more relevant to you than another bit, because it's always complicated as a reader to know where to sit in the energy when you're dealing with multiple energetics. And it may be that there's even more than three people, because it could be a family situation that your person is involved with as well. It doesn't have to be a romantic third party either. This could be a parent, is what I'm getting. Particularly a mother. Doesn't have to be, because I'm getting father energy over here as well. So parents could be. But yeah, particularly more mother, more feminine energy is coming through for me in this. Very diva-ish feminine energy is what I want to say here. Very. It's potent. This is a potent frequency for me, your person's person. And again, even if it's not related or not romantic, this could be a boss or business partner. But there is definitely, for me, a third person involved in this situation. And if that's not true for you, then I really don't think it's your stack. We've got the Three of Swords down here to clarify that third party frequency. The Three of Coins, again for me clarifying. And Conjunction, which suggests some kind of connectedness. Where do I start? There's so much going on. Okay. I'm going to start with the third party, and then we'll move through to your person and then to you, I think. Maria Callas. Hello, Maria. Compromise is the enemy of perfection. Befriend your inner serpent. You cannot survive on sensation alone. So for me, Maria Callas, this third party, I'm going to call her Maria because it's so much easier than saying your person's person and all of that. Maria does not want to compromise. Does not want to compromise. She won't compromise. This frequency will not compromise. Befriend your inner serpent. And they're very comfortable with their low energy, this person. And it says you cannot survive on sensation alone. So this person likes stuff, but I also feel that they like pleasure. Luxuries is what I'm getting. There's an opulent energy, a very showy energy about this individual. They want attention. They want adoration is what I'm getting as well here. And like I say, this could be an aspect of your person, and this is where they meet in this kind of energy. It's very obsessional. There is obsessional energy that is shared actually by all of you. We have series up here. And for me, I had to read about this card because I don't know much about this. And it's to do with nurture. It's actually quite similar to the moon. How we give and receive, how we nurture ourselves, how we care for people. But it's also to do with obsessive attachment and being cut off from what sustains or nourishes. Or, separating ourselves from what is healthy on a mental level. And I do feel, and it is so common with spiritual connections that you just cannot, you obsess about the other person, especially initially when you're experiencing that, because it's a very unusual thing to encounter, and you can't work out why you're so fixated. And I feel like this is something that you've had to deal with, and it's what your person's dealing with in terms of you, and it's what their person's dealing with in terms of them. So yeah, so whatever you do, don't join in and fixate on Maria or their situation, is what I want to say, because then it just the energy would just go round and round, like the famous Greek mythology of the hare that could never be caught and the dog that would never stop running, who are just constantly chasing each other forever and ever, infinitely into space. So please don't do that. It's like a vortex of energy, but not in a good Abraham Hicks way, in a horrendous, like, stuck here forever kind of perpetual hell way. So part of the lesson is to not fixate on this person, is to learn how to broaden the compassion, broaden the love that is genuinely felt between the two of you, because we do have the heart chakra up here, the fourth chakra, and there's real love here, real depth of feeling, and it's about learning to expand that into the spiritual realm, so that it's not about breaking the connection, that's impossible. It's about broadening your love, broadening the concept of the connection. So back to Maria. It's not enough. Whatever's being provided by your person in this situation is not enough for Maria. She's frustrated, and I feel like they're both frustrated with each other. There's a lack of confidence from both sides, self-sabotage from both sides. So this is very strong mirroring energy, fear, ego issues, and jealousy. So yeah, I feel that they both have this low connection, and that they have met each other to literally stare in the mirror. That's what I'm getting. You know, I think it was Jimi Hendrix. I think it's actually another one of these cards, but I think it was Jimi Hendrix that said, if you live in a room of mirrors, all you see is yourself, kind of thing. And it feels to me that there is strong vanity connected to this situation, or to do with maybe how it appears to the outside world. It could be as well here, but it's unhealthy. And this person does definitely feel that they're in a position of power, and they want to win, and they are superior, because we've got the comparison card from the Osho Zen Tarot deck, which is actually the Five of Swords in his deck. And the Five of Swords is notoriously about conflict and competition, and a sense of feeling just that you get nowhere. I mean, it serves nobody. It just goes round and round, like the dog and the hare, and it winds up feeling that there is a sense of complete defeat, or a sense of feeling like there's a stasis. And I feel like your person is in this sense of defeat. It feels very sad. And the Three of Swords next to it is serious melancholy. This is heartbroken energy. I feel like your person feels like they're royally screwed up in this situation, because I feel like this person may have chosen this person over you, and now they're like, oh my God, what have I done? What have I done? Because I feel like you are like elevating to a point where, although there's still love there, you are hitting a different frequency, is what I'm feeling. And I feel like you've turned and are moving your energy onwards, because Minerva up here, she feels like she's following the hawk spirit. Lots of wings, lots of wings. Hathor, pleasure with the wings. Hawk spirit, bird energy. Owl spirit sitting on top of Minerva's head. A lot of crown chakra frequency going on. And the seventh chakra of the crown does appear here. So for me, this carries strong priestess vibes, high priestess vibes. Extraordinary strong spiritual energy, especially represented as a nun. There's a purity about this energy that feels very strong, and very individual as well. She ain't no normal nun. Hildegard was pretty extraordinary. She was a poet, a composer, a pharmacist, a theologian. She, rubbed shoulders with some of the most seriously religious people, and she experienced visions, spiritual visions, that she felt like she was being messaged directly from God. And I feel like there is that priestess energy about you, and there is that priestess intuition about this situation. But you may have been feeling, or there may have been a lot of nostalgia. And I feel like your person, it thinks and reflects a lot on the situation about you as well here. Even if nothing happened between you on a sexual level, I think for most of you it probably did. But I feel that because I feel like your person is actually a little bit in the lower energies, or has been in the lower energies, and sexuality could have been a hook or an addiction, and they could have some kind of sensual addiction with Hathor up here, and the despair and the third party. I mean, and the hammer up here says sabotage, rebuilding, interrogation, repetitive. So it could have been that this is a repeat cycle for this person, persistent. Interrogation. I feel like they're constantly being interrogated by Maria. I feel like Maria is... they feel hammered, is what I want to say. They feel hammered and interrogated and controlled. And with that 5 of Swords energy, the 3 of Swords, that gives me 8 of Swords. I feel like your person is feeling very stuck, very, very oppressed, a sense of suffocation. You don't want to make an enemy of this woman. You just don't. Like Maria Callas, I feel like it's very dangerous. And I am seeing that serpent. And it feels different when I say the word serpent to snake. I feel like the serpent is like lower frequency energy. This person doesn't mind being underhand, undermining. To make sure that she wins, to make sure that your person is either punished for loving you or for being in an unhealthy third-party dynamic. It could be that your person is dealing with 2 other people as well as you, especially if you're not dealing with this person. So like I say, this could be a pattern. This could be a pattern for this person. And it has really brought them to complete despair, because you are irreplaceable is what I want to say. And there is a real obsessional energy. Obsessed. And I feel like it's kind of dream space. This person likes to dream about building with you. And it's very like, with the hammer here and the 3 of coins, which is often a collaboration, and it's the building, it's the grafting, I feel like they do want to build with you, and it's an obsessional thought, but it's just thought at the moment. This person is not taking action because they feel stuck. I feel like they find it really hard to put their ideas into practice. They could be having some work situations behind this despair card. It says not hiring, and I really feel that there's a problem there, maybe with their work. And I feel like you're picking up an awful lot intuitively. I feel like nothing I tell you about this person's situation is going to be of a surprise to you, because I do feel that strong priestess energy. You've got the clinging, fire, illumination, inspiration, devotion, and all-consuming passion. There's that obsessional energy again. Regeneration, spirituality, virtue, and enlightenment. So I feel like you're moving this kind of fixation into this broad spiritual spectrum. And I feel like you've got a lot to offer. Again, you know, she was multi-talented, Hildegard. So I really feel that you could be involved with nutritional content. So plants, food, healing, dance potentially as well here, sensual energy, massage, that sort of thing is what I'm getting. And you know, auricular capability, tarot reading, psychic capability. But I really feel that you have this very powerful connection with spirit. Very powerful. And you're aware that by elevating your frequency and making your path devotional towards spirit, clinging to the devotional fire of spiritual energy, of virtue, and illumination is what allows you to flex away and move away from the obsessional fixation with this person's energy, because you are rising to a point where you need to be in a broader stream of consciousness, is what I'm getting from this, because this person is in super low energy. And although it might be bringing out your compassion and your nurturance, I feel like there's not much you can do about this situation, because it is actually a breach of your ethics, and it would breach your connection with spirit to compromise on that space because of your sense of morality. And that could be a challenge with this, that you have to take the moral high ground. And I feel like that's part of your connection. That's part of the reason why you're connected. You have to take the moral high ground, regardless of the love, regardless of the connectedness, regardless of the desire to nurture and look after and support and help this person, especially when you sense they're sad or in despair. But this person's put themselves in this position, and they have to do this work, and they can only work with the dark shadow being mirrored by the helpful Maria, who is also in dark shadow energy. So that's what ties this person or these people together, that they need to break free from some kind of superior force. And it could be an issue with the feminine energy. I do feel, however, that this is a soulmate or twin flame. You are a divine feminine. And I feel like, but you need to step back from any form of judging this person as wrong or like morally condemning them. I'm hearing that's spirit's responsibility and not yours, and it could make you inflexible in your belief systems. Minerva often suggests that some part of our belief, our strong core beliefs, need to be abandoned. And maybe what needs to be abandoned is clinging in a devoted fashion in the expectation that this person is going to come through. Because I really don't think they're in a position to be able to do that at the moment. They have to fully focus on the fact that they keep trying to build with somebody who is equally as sabotaging and as undermining as potentially they are. And they're very frustrated, and they have to break free from this, and this is their problem, is what I'm getting, and it's spirit's problem. And regardless of whether you think it's wrong, and maybe they cheated on you, and that is horrendous, and yes, it is wrong, but it's not for you to judge that as right or wrong. It's for you to make the call about what's best for yourself. You don't have to understand it, and you don't have to forgive this person. But what you do have to do is move on fully focused on your own existence, and that's part of the challenge here. Forgiving this person will help. It will help because it's what brings that universal flexing broader energetic stream. But I feel like you have taken some kind of spiritual vow, and whether this is this lifetime or a previous lifetime, I feel like you are dedicated, or you are here to fulfill this dedicated sacred marriage, is what I'm hearing, sacred marriage. So I feel like you could be very creative or very expressive, just like Hildegard. So there's two women dancing in here. Again, another dual conjunct two women frequency, or two men, it doesn't matter. There's spirituality, virtue, and enlightenment's coming through really strong. Minerva represents beliefs, and then we have a nun. I mean, seriously, this is very strong. And the seventh chakra, this is hugely strong. And you're making healthy choices. You might well have felt hammered. You might well have felt that this person sabotaged you, that they hurt your confidence. Maybe you were jealous of the situation or of the influence this other person had.
I'm not getting that so much. And I definitely, if there is any level of that, you need to be moving away from it. Do not feed the flame, is what I'm getting. Do not feed that. And you need to be taking pleasure in your sensual energy. And I feel like this is where this other person may have excessive sensual energetic, and where you may have starved yourself of this energetic a little too much, and therefore you need more of it. They need less, you need more. You have strong discipline is what I'm getting. The strength card is up here too. They need more. So you see that there is this kind of dynamic for me is about switching or sharing the energy of which you have surplus and they don't have enough, and vice versa. So I feel like this person, and Maria as well, I feel like you're all contributing to this energetic pool. This kind of, modesty around Hildegard, and then this opulent display around Maria Callas. I feel like, again, you could do with a bit more opulent display, and she could do with a little bit more modest approach, kind of thing. So don't be afraid of stepping out and expressing the colourful energy in your nature. You don't have to be the sensible grown up, like totally straight laced one all the time. Let spirit let spirit dance with you is what I want to say. Like, have fun with spirit. You are a very you have a very high perspective. You've got the owl up here. I mean, that's deeply wise. And again, high priestess in flavor. The olive tree is behind Minerva. She was the goddess of wisdom and war, like both. So I don't think you're anybody to, like, I don't think you're a pushover by any stretch. But I do feel you're more receptive to the spiritual subtleties. And the olive tree behind makes me feel like you're moving to a point where you want peace. And I see the Six of Swords now in my mind. So I feel like you are transitioning because you want peace. You do want to detach from the lower energies of this situation. And this is about accepting the universal, like, unconditional love of your connection with this person, and to just enjoy the moment is what I'm getting as well. We've got small is beautiful up here with this butterfly, and it says find the extraordinary in the ordinary, keep it simple, use discretion, slow down, tend to the details, and pay attention. So again, I feel like spirit is flagging you, messaging you. There's lots of synchronicities with these birds, and I feel like, and the hawk spirit, I think that this card talks about synchronicities and says look, we are messaging you. So if there are red flags coming up with that red line frequency, you've got to put the line in the sand for me, and that is about transforming. Putting a line in the sand and saying, okay, I can't be dealing anymore with this energy. And I think you are, if you're not already there, getting to a stage where there will be a point that you cross where you are in a completely different energetic realm. And some of you are already there, is what I'm feeling with this situation. And therefore, you're kind of just releasing the tail end of the obsessional frequency, or the working with the shadow energy that goes with a soul connection, and actually elevating yourself and feeling that you are vibrating on a higher frequency will benefit this person that you're soul connected to, because there is a shared parallel stream, if you like. And I feel like if they tune into your energy and it's high vibing, it's really going to help them out of this despair. They're very much in their brain at the moment. They're very much in their mind. There's too much thinking, too much strategizing, too much, how do I do this and what do I do? And maybe they're just sitting there thinking, how do they build with you? How do they make this work? When they're still attached to a situation that they've got to contend with the here and now in. If they are defeated and they don't want to continue anymore, then they must break free of that feeling of being mentally restricted. And it is literally a mental energy that's holding this person back, regardless of the fact that they maybe they are financially connected, but I do feel like they kind of feel owned by the short and curlies. I feel like Maria owns this person. They have literally got them on a short leash, this frequency. And I feel like your person needs to I don't know, drop their metaphorical testicles, male or female, they need to drop the balls here and kind of level up and be like, you know what, because they could be completely financially dependent on this frequency. Could be a complete or there's a sense of feeling an obligation, because I feel like your person's really got embroiled here in this situation. They in some way they are stuck. And I feel like maybe they've invested quite a lot they've worked really hard to collaborate in some way, shape or form, and thinking it would all be like super shiny or and glorious or be admired or any of those frequencies. And actually what they've done is they've got themselves really trapped. And but there is a way out, but I think they fear judgment. And this is why Spirit is saying you must step back from any judgmental frequency. By all means, make a judgment call for your benefit, but steer clear of judging this person, because you would be contributing to the inner critic of this energy, your person's energy. And I really feel like they're persecuting themselves plenty for the both of you, frankly, because I feel like this person is very regretful of the choices that they have made, because I feel like they feel brokenhearted, and it's almost like they've broken their own heart here. It feels very sad. It feels very sad. Hildegard says, become like a feathers, on the breath of God. That's so lovely. Gain wisdom through the study of the unknown. So this is about the mysteries. Again, the High Priestess coming through. The soul is not in the body is in the soul. Love that. Think not, God is in my heart, but rather I stand in the heart of God. That's a quote from the Prophet, and I love that book. And it really, there is this sense of saying, yeah, it's not about the physical connection. It's about the love that this person has connected you with, and it really has sanctified you. It's made you holy. Now I'm getting really strong sun energy here, and and the Innocence card, I believe, is the sun card, number 19. I think that's the sun card in the Osho Zen Tarot. And the sun says to me that there's huge growth and expansion en route, huge growth. And the sun is connected with Leo. There's actually the Strength card here, which I think is also a Leo energy. I feel like you're getting past this line. You're gaining confidence. You are very funny. I've got to put that out there. You're very, very witty. And this is really helpful in dealing with any dark energies for the past. It is laughing at it, not taking life so seriously. I think you've had to take life quite seriously. You've had to make some really difficult decisions. There have been real obstacles in the way, and you're making healthy choices. And the Strength card a lot is about resisting or holding back from being tempted to go back into something, or provoked, or allowing your desire to rule proceedings. And this particular Strength card, she's tending to the lion's paw. The lion's like, I've got a sore paw. So maybe your pride has been injured is what I'm feeling as well here. And that is also an energy that you have to step back from. It's not about being the superior one or the winner or the loser in this situation. It's about focusing on your own goals, focusing on your own thing. And I feel like once this line is crossed, there's going to be an enormous and sudden growth. And then the horse spirit, freedom is yours. I mean, wow. There are horses in this card as well. There's strong animal totem connection coming through with you guys. Strong connection to animals. I feel like animals are another synchronicity, as well as the birds as well, of course, for spirit messaging you at the moment. And if there is sending you red flags about, and I really feel that if you do feel the need to involve with this person, or even support or nurture or contact or reminisce too much in this space, this energy is not helpful. It could lead to obstacles. It could lead to you preventing or delaying these things coming in. Pay attention, it says. Use discretion. It's almost like you're being asked to focus on the little things. Find pleasure in small things. in beauty, in grace, in little details. Look, he's looking at a little insect here. He's like, yay, look. And it's innocence, innocence, it says. You know, and this is about like childlike wonder and awe, and that you are free. There's such purity around your energy. It's really very beautiful. Change is coming. There will be time for some kind of movement forwards, and I feel that's coming. And with the Knight of Coins down here, there's been a lot of work, a lot of effort put into elevating your energy, and it's been processed. It's been step by step, this process, and step by step, little by little, detail by detail, the change is actually enormous. And the smallest thing can become enormous. And I feel like your fruit is ripening on the tree, is what I want to say. I'm getting very strong Nine of Pentacles energy as well. So it's strong earth energy coming through in general for me. So Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, very strong, and air energy as well with these birds, very strong, and obviously Leo up here too. I do feel like you're heading in the right direction. Just don't slip back. The gift of this connection is that you're embracing things that this person has put you in touch with, your own sensual pleasure, your own flexibility of beliefs, self-nurturance, making the right kinds of decisions, and having the tenacity and the perseverance to see those things through. You are gifting in return a belief in the self, of the colourful nature, of being both pure and able to express yourself clearly and beautifully and opulently. But it's a different kind of richness that than this person's been, you know, glamoured by, is what I want to say. I feel like once they're out of their own self-pity, once they've stopped despairing here, they will start to build. And they will start to build based on the good feelings that they have felt in the past. And they may be a bit obsessional about the work that they step into, but it will be very heartfelt. And I feel like you're a massive inspiration. You are a massive inspiration for this person. And other than that, I don't really know what to say to you, because I feel like you are Yoda. You are following spirit. And, you know, there's nothing really for you to change in that trajectory. Just don't be pulled into any level of comparison or rivalry. Do not compare yourself unfavorably. Do not think to yourself that in any way that you are lesser, or that you don't shine, or that you're not as glamorous enough, or that, you know, in any way, shape or form that you're superior or inferior. You buy into that kind of energy and you lose the balance. Focus on the gifts of the love that you have felt with this person. And I really feel that this is a sacred union. So whether you're going to be together or whether you're not, I don't know. And often it's not, I have to say that. But the lessons you learn from this kind of connection is just beyond gold. It's a heavenly treasure. And I really feel that you have so much to share. And there's a real tenderness, there's a real nurturance about your energy. So cling to the devotional pathway is what I want to say. Hold to your virtue, hold to your ethics, but do not become rigid in your belief structures or in your religious outlook or spiritual outlook. There must be flexibility in that. What is it the Tao Te Ching says? The hard and brittle will be broken, but the soft and supple will prevail. So yeah, I really feel that that's all I've got for you, and I hope that it was some kind of reassurance. Leave this person to their devices. I feel like they're going to have to work it out, or they will just keep going around in a repeat pattern. But they are burnt out at the minute, and this is not the right time to engage in this nightmare over here. Just leave them to their own devices and stay clear with your conscience. Really hope that resonated. And if it did, please like, subscribe, share, and drop me a comment. Thanks so much for listening. Bye. Hello to those of you that chose the moon up here. I have integrated it in your reading. And as you can see, I've got loads of cards. So I'm working off the floor in my bedroom. So apologies that light isn't amazing. I will show you the cards that are less visible here. But wow, there is a lot of energy up here, and it's big ass energy. I feel like you've really been through it in this connection, but it is game changing. This connection, it is the life changing, is what I want to say to you guys. So I've put Keridwen at the top of this reading because that is where I felt that she should live. She is the death and rebirth energy. And that is the death card in this particular oracle deck. And I really feel that she is metaphorically very important to this reading. Now you can see she's holding a little mushroom over a giant cauldron. And this is giving me very strong energy of, it's very interesting because I've just finished reading a book called The Immortality Key, which I highly recommend, amazing, called about the religion with no name, that predates sort of, there is early Coptic Christianity or Gnostic Christianity, like predates. And it was about how they used to spike wine and beer with psychoactives, herbs of all description. And this was the crone energy that did this. The older females were the kind of priests in this space. And this would be about entering into a process such as, taking ayahuasca or something, where you go through a death process, like an underworld journey, in order to be reborn, in order to rebirth yourself at the end of it. And that is, I feel, summing up the nature and the gift that has been brought to you by this connection. Although I don't think it felt like a gift at the time, it really has made you go deep. Now, it's not easy to stir this cauldron. Look at the size of it. And we've got the toil and labor down here, this card, and making me feel like it's been one hell of a process to let go finally of this energetic or this person. And we've got the groundhog suggesting that it's Groundhog Day, repeated action, repeated cycles. Again, with the moon energy, it feels like a cyclic thing. And whether it was this person or whether it's just in general in your life, there's a pattern somehow. And it feels like it goes back a long time, like lifetimes. Or this is kind of ancestral, or there's a very deep ancient energy connected to this, very deep. Right, under here, which you can't see because these cards don't show up brilliantly well on camera, but they are beautiful. There's a Scorpio energy. Again, the death card in tarot is scorpionic. And again, that depth of the water, the feeling of still waters run deep, the feeling of the depth of emotion that you felt during this process, and how hard it has been to transform yourself within this. But you are being congratulated by Spirit here. My guide is saying, we've seen what you've gone through. We know the depth, the trial, the work, the effort. We've seen the exhaustion. We've seen the strength. And you have done the work, and you are now entering into a completely different cycle. You've broken the back of this energy, not just for you, but for generations to come, for your family karma. This is no small feat. This is it's almost, I am getting the feeling of miraculous kind of energy. I feel like you might as well have taken a psychoactive. You become one with the spiritual energy, which was the sacred sacrament in the past, was like actually becoming one with that frequency of whatever kind of God that you wanted to see as. In the book, it talks about Dionysus as like the preemptor to Jesus and turning water into wine, and that was Dionysus. And prior to that, it was Demeter, a goddess of grain, and Persephone, her daughter. Demeter, goddess of grain, was associated with barley, and ergot grows on barley, which is a psychoactive that underlines the ingredients. It is the basis of the ingredients for LSD, sorry. So again, there is this feeling that your brain has been rewired in this process. And Eostra here, the goddess of spring, the Nordic goddess of the spring equinox and growth and regeneration of the land, is giving me strong Persephone vibes. And Persephone spent 6 months in the underworld with Hades. Like she was the wife of the god of the underworld. So this is about kind of a sacred marriage between your light and dark aspects that has taken time. I want to say time to integrate. This is not a fast process. And it has not been a fast process. Some of you might still be in this process. Some of you, I feel, are further along and have already finished this process. It's certainly, the energy is ebbing away. What felt really heavy, what felt really difficult is ebbing, and it's moving to regenerate completely. So the Persephone, 6 months of a year in that underworld, and then she would come up to release spring into the world. And she's holding an egg here, and I feel like there is at the moment a little bit of vulnerability about like entering into normality, not normality, but like your new version of yourself. You've shed a skin, and that can leave you feeling very raw. The death card, death energy, it puts you in a no man's land of, your familiar touchstones suddenly disappear and you don't know where you are for some time, or you're out at sea, you're in between. There's the in between, somewhere in between the waxing and the waning. Yeah, time has passed, somewhere in between the ticking and the talking clock. Yeah, I feel like tick tock, time has passed. And Leonard Cohen's energy down here has given me the Alleluia. You don't really care for music, do ya? I feel like this is your understanding on this person that you have this connection with, and that you're looking at this person and thinking, the subtleties are lost on this person. The depth is lost on this person in your view. Yeah. I feel like some of you could well have been dealing with a narcissistic energy. And I don't say that lightly because I feel the word is bandied around too much, but this feels very much in that tone. It says travel lightly through the darkness, and I feel like you've had to really take it easy going through this process of assimilating this death, or maybe you are assimilating it now and finally releasing on it. Learn to live in the intervals between events, and that's what I mean. There's that time, there's that kind of just allowing things to be as they are. And just continue to doing the work, continuing to mix the pot. So this person, okay. So this person, Knight of Wands, Knight of Swords, Five of Wands in reverse, Mars, reckless energy, materialistic energy, cold energy. So hot and cold, very changeable. Very changeable, very impulsive, and wow, what a temper is what I want to say. Like the ability to go from detached and cut off to just 300 miles an hour. White hot temper is what I'm feeling here. Strong dominance energy, strong warriorship energy. And I feel like actually that is part of the process for you to connect with the inner warrior, to connect with the ability to shield yourself, the ability to guard against this kind of flavor. But this person wants to win, to dominate. And the Five of Wands is often about inner turmoil or trying to find the inner voice of leadership, and I feel that's like pressingly important for you. I feel like there's been a massive issue with self-confidence or standing up for yourself, because this person feels like a bully, just out and out a bully, verbally abusive, very likely, able to say some really mean stuff. And I am seeing the Ten of Swords now. Spirit is showing me that. So I feel like this person has betrayed you, or you felt very, very hurt by this person, very betrayed by this person's temper, their words. Some of these people could have been physically abusive. With that Knight of Wands and the Mars energy, that trigger, that Knight of Swords is quite argumentative at the best of times, that usually they're fighting for something they believe is right or, moral or fair. But in this situation, I feel like it's all deflection tactics. It's all gaslighting. It's all distraction tactics as well. This person could cause arguments because they have not done the healing. I feel like a very childish energy. So there's a lot of childhood issues I feel with this person, turbulence with this person, and wanting to put themselves in a position of being or acting like a child and acting out like a child, like super tantrum level. And then with a rat up here, I feel like this could have been a love rat. Mars and the Knight of Wands. This person could have been a cheat. Doesn't have to be, but definitely at the very least temper. I feel like this person just needs to dominate, or feels the need to dominate or provoke as well, because if they can get a rise or a reaction, they can get you to a position where you're still engaging energetically, and they know you're involved. All attention is good attention to an out and out narcissist. And I am feeling very strongly that this person could very well, if they're not full blown, certainly act like they are. Because the the King of Cups up here, which does feel really good, and I've put it in a good portion of the spread. I feel, though, that you've been dealing with like the gaslight version of this, or the inverted king, and this is somebody who's incredibly emotionally manipulative, and they will use strong-arming tactics to be manipulative. And even when they're being nice, there's some kind of upmanship or one-upmanship or gameplay. And I feel like this has really taken its toll on you. So yeah, take what resonates, doesn't have to be, and it is a powerful word to use, narcissism, but I am feeling it. And Spirit is actually showing me the painting of Narcissus looking at himself in the water. It is an amazing artwork. Thank you, Spirit. But yeah, this person is feels entitled to dominate. That's what I'm feeling. I feel like they made you feel like this. It says oppression, restriction, exhaustion, depression, depleted resources, feeling cut off, punishment and confinement. And I feel like that exhaustion, because my guide mentioned the exhaustion energy, and I feel like there was a sense of being bled dry here and putting you in a real turmoil with that Ten of Swords energy that I'm getting. That real like mental torture of this situation is what I'm feeling. Depressed, feeling cut off. They may have left you out in the cold here for sure. Punishment and confinement, or being gaslit, or being blamed for things that weren't your fault, maybe. Left out, actively persecuted. This person is triggered by your inner strength, which you may not have seen, but was very much obvious to them, because I feel like you're not naturally reactionary. This person may have triggered you to reaction on a number of occasions. But hey, I don't expect you to be a saint when you come up against this kind of thing. But I feel that your general strength in order to not be drawn in, or to rather take yourself off. I'm being shown the Hermit as well. You would rather take yourself off or isolate yourself, or you know, go and deal with your own issues. And it does give me Hermit vibes. She's looking at like a glowing light here. Holding to the faith, holding to like what might have felt like only a one candle flame in a ocean of darkness. Oh, Spirit is so proud of you. I'm getting goosebumps. Oh God, wow. There's such a sense of feeling proud of you. They know what you've been through. They can see what it's taken. And they've been at your back. They've been there. Even when you felt like you couldn't sleep, or there were nightmares, or it just felt like a lot of dark energy being chucked at you, or a lot of words. The materialistic energy actually gives me the feeling that this person is always out for themselves, is always out for what they can gain from this situation, how they can turn situations to their advantage is what I'm getting. And is very inclined to the physical. There's a sensuality card up here, which you might not be able to see, but this is a sensuality card. And this person, like I say, could have been impulsive sexually as well as on an abusive level. I really hope you haven't had to deal with physical abuse here. But on a spiritual level, this person has pushed you right to the wire. And I feel like in order to really like help you pull up the older sediment, the stuff that really needed to dissolve, and you've been in the process of dissolving it so that something brand new can come in it. You will never repeat this again with this person or with anyone else. You are not going to be in danger of repeating this cycle. So if you're worried about that, if you're doubtful, because this card, it makes me feel like this person has got you to really doubt your capabilities, your skill sets. And you are essentially very honest. You want to be authentic to yourself. And I feel like that is a primary energy that's coming through here, that you are accepting your shadow and your light. If not, you already have. And you've dealt with your demons, and those demons feel like a crippling self-doubt or insecurity, or feeling responsible for things that aren't your responsibility. Because this person, I feel, has made you feel that you were responsible for their actions. That's standard abusive behavior. There's a standard abusive behavior. It's your fault that I lost my temper. It's your fault that I am reckless or potentially violent, or, you know, if you hadn't done this, I wouldn't have been a twat. Like, that is abusive behavior. It's also somebody who's in the child mode, who won't take accountability in adult space. But that's not you. That's not you. This person, even if they're going through separation with somebody else, maybe there were lots of arguments about money here as well, or resource or work. If they're going through separation with somebody else, that is what they're dealing with. And they are the ones now feeling shut out, feeling restricted, feeling punished, feeling confined. Maybe because they have screwed up and they've been found out, who knows? But I feel like they are having to follow you in the trajectory of this energy. And this is part of a karma, but it's also because you're soul connected, I think, with this person. And I feel like they have to follow in the wake of the groove that you're cutting, whether it be on a 5D or a 3D, because I feel like you are the catalyst trigger for them to deal with the repercussions of their actions. Because for so long, narcissist energy can get away with this behavior because they just do a runner. The Knight of Swords is good at doing a runner. They just do a runner when it gets too much for them. And actually, they can't, because you can't run from the prison that you've put yourself in on a mental and emotional level. And I feel like as well, there might be material issues. This person might have to be working very, very hard on transforming this energy, and could be a work situation, or it feels very laborsome or maybe very repetitive. And maybe you were the one that put in the work and they didn't put in so much work, or you've done that, but now I think that you're transforming into something else. And I feel like now they are having to do that. I really feel like they are going to have to go through exactly the same process, maybe for exactly the same amount of time, in order to get to the other side. But the idea is that they do, because Spirit does want us to overcome. They does want us to recognize where we're not taking accountability. And even somebody that you think that is a write-off and can never heal, even with that narcissistic energy that I am picking up on, with Spirit in the mix, has every possibility of healing and coming to terms with themselves and coming to terms with this impulsive energy, because I feel like it's connected to their childhood. I feel like it's connected to ancestral karma. Like in the same way that yours is deep, theirs is deep. And you are here to trigger this. You are here to be the kind of full stop where this stops. But only by leaving, only by this ending, only by you turning your energy to the future and regenerating, growing, rising up out of the underworld with your incredible skillfulness, with your authenticity, with your great power, strength of character, authority, dignity, influence, self-confidence, leadership, peak condition and potency, self-confidence, like taking control and really leveling up. You are then kind of passing the baton back to this person who then has no choice but to deal with the mess of, I think, their own self-created mess here. I feel like this person is very isolated at this point in time. And I think that actually you felt very isolated. So like I say, you're further along in the journey, but it's the same train track is what I'm getting. So that is the nature of this connection, that you are intended to lead energetically, and that might mean that you have been previously victimized in order to be able to lead. But I do feel like there's a broader audience for you to reach in terms of that leadership. You can pass on this wisdom because you've gone through this. It actually has opened up your heart space to be able to love even more so, even though I feel like there's a lot of love for this person. And that's testament to your ability to unconditionally love, but also learning that you can't throw your pearls before swine, that you can't keep feeding a situation that results in your persecution, because that is you dealing with the victim of yourself, dealing with the abused energy, or dealing with the insecure energy within yourself that you've had to work hard to overcome, to put to bed, to lay to rest. R.I.P. to that energy. R.I.P. So you're moving into a very exciting process here. And I feel like you're doing it with a lot of grace and a lot of dignity. I feel like you've gone dark, you've gone cold. You are not, I feel, in communication with this person. And if you, or you're just about to end communication and it feels like you then do not want any more communication, you're opening up to various possibilities. I really feel like this person, even if you really want them to grow, even if you really want them to get to this point of maturation, they're not there yet. I feel like they've delayed their process. I get that they've dragged their feet is what I'm getting. And they've created, deflections and drama and quarrelsome, argumentative, impulsive, totally unnecessary conflict in order to delay or slow possibly you in this process. But all they've done is delay themselves. And now there is healing up ahead because they are losing something. And that could be you. But like I say, it could be somebody else that they're losing. But whatever it is, it's a version of themselves that is no longer required, that belongs to a different space, time. It doesn't belong here now. Just like your version of you with this person was a shadow of your past, is what I want to say, a shadow of your childhood maybe, or past life shadow. It's the same for this individual. It's exactly the same for this individual. And you can come through it, and that lights a way for this person. Actually, there's a lot of inspiration that you're providing because you're able to light up the darkness with grace, with dignity. You are becoming more beautiful. Yeah, I feel like it could have really made you feel old. And actually, you know, you felt like it aged you, I feel. And it did. It did, but it's matured you. It's a fine wine. Spirit is saying a fine wine. And that is, but you are regenerating yourself on a physical level as well, I feel. I feel like you will start to look better, look younger, look more vibrant. It's feeling creamy. It's feeling nice. It's feeling juicy, kind of an energy. It feels really good. Bjork is giving me the impression of like Queen of Swords energy. It's quite a cold energy. So I think that you've claimed this cold energy and that you've gone dark on this person and you're not sharing personal information with this individual. I think you are keeping it under wraps. This great power, it goes with great responsibility, doesn't it? And I feel like you're keeping this under wraps. And Bjork says, devour the life whole, organize an orgy with the sky and the sea, and optimism is energy. And her lips here, her little red lips, are reminding me of the heart that the groundhog spirit is holding. And it's like you're kissing it goodbye. And she's feeling quite apathetic, quite kind of impassive. It doesn't feel like a bad energy. It's like being able to shut off the emotional content and observe. And that Queen of Swords energy is feeling like very discerning, very clever, very sharp, also able to just say, no, no more. Because you're claiming back some kind of sensual energy that I feel that has been deprived, you felt deprived of, and it could have been like emotional vampire type energy. I feel like it really put a block on your creativity and your natural sensuality, your natural beauty, which is like this huge abundance stepping in with this great fortune and enormous abundance. Keep a positive mindset. It's very important for you to stay positive in this situation. Very important. I feel like this one says you can manifest exactly what you want. And I think you are manifesting exactly what you want. And act like grateful for it already being here, and that will speed up the manifestation. But it's coming, whether it be material energy or new love is what I'm getting, because I feel like this ace is saying, for me, the ace of coins is like super lucky. It's like the 4-leaf clover of the deck next to the starfish spirit of infinite possibility, and you've got that pentagram in both of them. And I feel like you are opening up to brand new things, new endeavors, maybe new work, new location, could be anything on a physical level that is new. Certainly a new sense of renewal, a new version of you, an entirely new version. It's like you've gone through this process. All your cells have been rearranged, sorted out, regenerated, cleansed, purged, whatever. And you've come out the other side. And you are exactly the same person, but you're totally different on a cellular level. That's what I'm feeling. It's been a powerful frequency and it's been so very painful. But I feel like it had to be this painful for you to really break the back of it, because you are some kind of powerful in your witching capabilities or in your personal magic. You are some kind of powerful, and you could work with food or nutrition, or there's certainly an awareness of plants or herbs or a natural energetic that I feel is very pronounced with you. I feel there's huge guidership capabilities, huge wisdom. The understanding card, look at this bird breaking free of the cage, to come close to the King of Cups. I feel like there's new love on the horizon for some of you. This understanding card is, I believe, the Page of Cups in this deck. So I think there's going to be some kind of beautiful, abundant love offer that is very fortunate. It feels very destined. It feels very graceful, very sacred, and very grounded. And you're going to be able to grow things together is what I'm getting. So if you're manifesting new love, it's on the horizon. If you haven't met this person already, because some of you I feel might have met this person, and I feel like this person is going to be very grounded in a financial way as well, I want to say, or at least very generous, very abundant. All of the things that you might have seen as potential in this other person but have not seen in actuality. And sensuality, I mean, I feel like you're very creative. I feel like a lot of you have like strong artistry is what I'm getting. But you don't really care for music, do you? Yeah, you're going to find somebody that really does care for the artistry that you carry, that does understand the depth of your energy and the depth of your... And I think this person may well have gone through their own transformation, because it's going to take somebody who knows what that's like to really get you. And I think at this point, you don't want anything less than somebody who can see and hear you, because I feel like you've been treated like you didn't matter, that you couldn't be heard, that you couldn't be seen, like a piece of the furniture almost, or somebody, like a general punch bag for somebody else's energetic. And that is you saying no, like, no more, it's over, I can't do this anymore. It's kind of broken your will to continue in any way, shape or form with this individual. They're too undermining. They actively undermine as well. They're a rat, really, a total rat. And this is about experiencing joy and pleasure from the physical world. I feel like a lot of you are recuperating your physical energy. It feels like energy vampire, that you've been drained dry. So yeah, I really feel like that's all I've got for you. You're growing your skill sets. You might start a new project or a new work endeavor. Do that. Consider your options. I really feel to say that the world is your oyster. You've got so much to offer, and you never have to worry about this cycle repeating itself again. Because you've done the letting go, and you are healing, or have already healed. So take heart if you're still in this process, because this goodness and this massive release of energy that's coming back to you is ready. And it's waiting in the wings for you. And for most of you, I think that you're already hitting this space and you know this. But the nature of this relationship, the gift, was to get you to deal with very deep, very old, very karmic, very past life, very ancestral energy, so that you would never have to go through this process again. So well done for putting the work in. Spirit is, like I say, immensely proud of you. And it does make me feel very emotional when I connect in with that energy. And kiss this person goodbye. Thank you for the lessons. This person has made you a very powerful, a very skillful, and a very abundant individual. And they've done it in the worst possible way, but sometimes that's what it takes. So well done. You're rising out of the underworld. Thanks very much. Really hope it resonated. And if it did, please like, subscribe and share. And drop me a comment. So lovely to hear from you, and a pleasure to read for you as always. Bye. Hi guys. This is for you that chose the water droplet here. So, the teardrop, which I think it is very much for this person that you have learned these incredible lessons from. And I really like your energy is what I want to say. I really like your energy, and I think you're very kind of sure about where you are, although I don't think this has been an easy ride, for sure. But this is an interesting one. I don't know quite where to start here. Right. Your person, which I feel is being represented by Ludwig van Beethoven here. And if you take a look at how serious and dour and
this person is feeling sad is my first inclination, and also a little bit resentful is my feeling, a little bit resentful. It says a wrong note is insignificant, playing without passion is inexcusable. Listen, destiny is knocking at your door. Conduct a symphony in silence. I'm getting the feeling this person could well have ghosted in a situation here. They could have pitched you into a crisis, got the erroneous, the crisis up here. And they could have left you clinging to the past is what I'm getting here, and like feeling extremely confused. Look at the imagery in this card. So much confusion, and yeah, a lot of confusion, a lot of bafflement, a lot of emotion, a lot of difficulties accessing the truth of this situation is what I'm feeling to say here. I'm sorry if my light's a bit bright. I am working off the floor because I just fancy picking loads of cards, and I have arranged them according to how I kind of feel about where they should go. I think your person is very regretful. This is the Five of Cups. I think they're very regretful, and I'm hearing Annie Lennox, walking on broken glass. So I feel like their situation is precarious is what I want to say. And with the imprisonment card, I feel like they're feeling a deep sense of entrapment in the emotional content, in the emotional space. Now, I've put Ludwig van Beethoven next to Ella Fitzgerald here. God bless Ella Fitzgerald. What a ledge. But I'm feeling that either your person was in a long-term commitment, or you were in a long-term commitment, and this is something that was broken, that was pitched into a crisis. It could have been a third party, is my sensation. Not for all of you, though, is what I'm feeling. But I'm feeling that this definitely could have been a third party energy for a lot of you. Or it were, yeah. And it feels very traditional. The setup feels very traditional. I'm really being drawn to her pearls, and I'm hearing Spirit say twin set and pearls, twin set and pearls. So it's kind of very traditional energy. If your person's involved with another person, then there's a kind of the entrapment here is the sense of traditional aspects that's going on. This person is very particularly in their groove of thinking, your person, and it could be that the person that they're dealing with, if it's a third party, is also this way inclined. I am feeling that your person feels cowed. It's a strange word to use, but that's what I'm hearing, cowed. Possibly by being blocked here by either a sense of tradition or culture, or because these are very different worlds. So the classical music, and we've got Ella Fitzgerald, who's like soul, jazz, that kind of thing. Very different cultural expressions here as well. I feel like either you were very different, is what I want to say, and this person was contained by the traditional elements, or they are recognizing the difference that exists between them and somebody else. It's so buttoned up. Look at this. Look at the cravat. It looks so uncomfortable. There's problems with the person's throat chakra. There's an inability to express here, and it could be an inability to express their truth to somebody. And I feel like that could have been you, but I feel like if they're in another situation, that's definitely with somebody else. And one person, like Ella, looks well chuffed. She looks really happy. She's like, all is good, all is great. It says you are your own best teacher. Nothing is more hard-won than innocence, and intuition beats experience. I feel like somebody in this setup thinks it's great, or for a few of you, this person is being blocked by somebody in a crisis space who is playing innocent potentially as well here. But this person is going to create a lot of obstacles for your person. I think you've gone. I feel like this situation is completed. We've got the world up here, and I feel like since the completion, I really feel like your person now recognizes that they've been struck by Cupid's arrow, that they're in love, is what I'm getting. But their own stubbornness, their own inner groove thinking has, because it says cassette, an outdated thinking, conditioning, and replaying events over in your head. So there is a sense of sorrow with the Five of Cups, a sense of like it could have been very different, but now it's the same old is what I'm getting. And it's antiquated. It's an antiquated thinking. It belongs to a different space, a different place within their past, I think, is what I'm getting. Their past, it's a past version of events that is on a kind of repeat. Yeah. And they can't seem to stop it. And I'm getting, what Spirit's showing me is like when you eject the cassette tape and it all gets really tangled, those of you that remember cassettes, like, you know, sometimes the ribbon would get tangled and it was an absolute nightmare, and you'd have to go back over and over and over just to wrap it up again. And it just has the tendency to keep screwing up, and then it keeps having to be wrapped up again. So there's something here about repetition that is feeling like it's coming through here. Work on what has been spoiled. Healing, correct past mistakes. I mean, again, a lot of regret in this person's space. Make repairs, clean up corruption, restore balance, responsible action. So I feel like your person is feeling very alone, even if they're in a situation with somebody else. And they know that there is repair work that needs to be done should they have any chance of reclaiming the love that they have with you. Although I think most of you are actually sort of out of it and quite happy about it. But, or just love in general, retouching the energy within them that feels that expansiveness, that feels that love. They feel very locked down from that situation. That they feel trapped. They feel completely trapped. And I'm getting the feeling that somebody is quite happy about this. Somebody that they're dealing with may be quite happy about this sense of confinement. But it's almost like your person has created this sense of confinement with like conditioned thinking that they refuse to veer from. Oh, my pussycat, hang on. Right, sorry about that. Mom! Right, then we've got solace, illness and wellness. I really feel like this situation made you feel really ill, is what I'm getting, or had an impact on your health, because we've got the healthy card up here. Again, I feel that there's been an enormous recovery of this space. Certainly, it feels very much like your energetic was deeply impacted, and all these tangled weeds around her feet make me feel like it was really hard to extrapolate yourself from this situation. It replayed over and over in your brain. I feel like this energy is now something you're releasing, and you're giving it to your person almost. It's almost like a sense of trying to trap you in a mind frame or a mindset has, or maybe you've done this to yourself, has kept you very bound up, feeling very unhealthy, feeling ill. It could have been a mental situation for sure with the clinging to the past card here. I get just very confused, very difficult to extrapolate yourself from. Might have taken some time, but you're hitting the light. You're hitting the light. And it feels like this entire relationship was for you to be able to finally move forward, finally move on. I think it made you process an awful lot of stuff that could have been jumbled, that could have been connected to the past, that could have been needed to clean up. You needed to clean up or make repair with yourself. There definitely needed to be a balance brought into this situation. I think it had a lot to do with feeling lacking and pitching into a crisis here. And I'm feeling like there was a number of people involved. There's 3 people in this card. It could be a third party situation that is coming up a lot in these readings. But this lacking energy, this feeling cast out in the cold, very sad, very sorrowful, very emotional. Maybe you felt like you jumped in quickly with this person. We've got the lustful card down here. Maybe there was a lot of energy in relationship to your attraction, or maybe this person jumped in quickly with somebody else. I am feeling if they're dealing with somebody, this person that they're dealing with uses emotion to manipulate, and it's because they want something. It's not necessarily sexual, it could be, but I am being drawn to the pearls again. I feel like it's security. It's security is what I'm getting. A security in the lifestyle, a projection of something that seems to the outside world conventional. It's almost like they don't even notice how unhappy your person is. It's like your person is just not themselves, is what I'm getting. But this energy that they're dealing with, this other person, they don't care. This is something, they're clinging to some kind of past thinking, some kind of conditioned thinking, or some kind of past situation between the two of them. Could be someone from their past that is blocking, but there's a lot of stubbornness, there's a lot of belligerence, and it could be mirrored with both. I feel like this situation, part of the lesson, a shared lesson that you have going on with this person, is the block to the joy. Is a block to the joy factor. Joy, the energy of joy, activates feelings of happiness and well-being, that health energy coming through again, and supports a high vibrational frequency in our being. I feel like that was really blocked for some time. I do feel like it still is with your person, not with you. I don't feel like it is with you at all, actually. I feel like you are releasing this, and even if there's a bit of residual energy, I feel like you're either totally complete and totally free of this situation, or you're very close to being completely free of this situation. You can see her head's like coming up to being above water. So I feel like it made you feel drowned in emotional content, in real crisis. I think this person is being manipulated by somebody who triggers a crisis. It feels like a wall, a block to make sure your person stays in an entrapped space. But your person is aware of the intensity and the depth, is what I want to say, of your connection. I feel like this person is in love with you. And if it's not someone blocking them, it's their own mindset. It's their own sense of lack. It's poverty mentality. It's a sense of, always being the victim, or always being the one that, can't have what they want, and the truth transcends illusion, says the dragonfly spirit. It's taken a long time for this person, and they may not quite be there in recognizing that they are the master of their own destiny here. I feel like you're leading the way energetically. I feel like this person is actually quite inspired by your bid for freedom, is what I want to say. We've got freedom up here. The energy of freedom supports our sense of limitless possibility and potential, boundless expression and bold exploration. Yes, come on. Yes, this is great energy. Next to ascending, transcending obstacles, learning, expansion, new phase, preparing for union. With this person, unlikely. Could be, for some of you, could be. But they have to free themselves. And I feel like you're actually on a different frequency. And the ball for me is my bounce card. And it's also moving at speed. So what I'm getting here is that you're moving at speed into a highly ascended place. You're feeling strong or stronger, because I do feel like this weakened you. You're feeling healthier. The waxing crescent card here says inspiration, creativity, growth, accomplishments, and learning. So I feel like you really integrated, and that's waxing moon. So it's coming up to some kind of glorious fullness. And I feel like you're actually closing down a cycle, and then the one that comes after the world is the Fool, the brand new beginning. There is something coming here. I feel like it is something coming. The Queen of Wands down here really feels like your energy. It really feels like that you're very creative, and that may have been a subdued energetic in this space in dealing with this. I certainly feel like your person also may be very creative, but playing without passion is inexcusable. I feel like they can't bring the creative juice to the table. And I feel like that you were in this space, you felt in this place. And so in one respect, this could be a karmic return, but my hunch is that this is actually a soulmate that you're dealing. Yes. Spirit says it's a soulmate connection, but it's a soulmate connection that some of you are choosing to complete this contract with this person so that you can find another soulmate connection. And if you don't believe this person is a soulmate, because I feel like you did at some stage, if that's the case, if you don't now, I feel like you did. I feel like you're finding a new connection. Yeah, you're leveling up. I'm seeing literally a leveling up. Yes. Yes, I feel like you're leveling up from, like, I don't know, bronze to silver to gold kind of thing. That's how it feels. It feels like, yeah, because I'm seeing a gold chain. These people may have a soul contract. If your person is involved with somebody else, they may have a soul contract as well. I feel like one of them, the person your person is dealing with, believes that it's a soul contract. But if it was a soul contract and it was a genuine love, why does this person manipulate by throwing themselves into a crisis and clinging on to the past every time they think that your person is going to free themselves? Because that's what I feel is happening. Sabotage and manipulation. Every time they sense your person may free themselves or may be connecting with their desire and their passion. Your person, I feel, is watching you. You've got the Page of Swords here. They're trying not to be seen watching you, but they are really eyeballing you. They may be able to see you on social media. They may be, I don't know, in some way, shape or form, they really want to know what's going on. They're very curious about what's happening with you. And I think they feel like strong attraction. I think that maybe when you were together, or maybe when you were engaging with this person, there was a sense of joy, there was a sense of freedom, there was a sense that things were going places. But I'm seeing a ball and chain now. So this person could be married and it be really just very heavy or very entrapping, that energy. It may be that there's a long-term commitment, or yes, it weighs really heavy. It weighs really heavy in this space. This person feels that they cannot escape from something from their past. And it's pitching them into a crisis, and they are extremely emotional about this at the moment. And they are, I feel, hoping that there's a need to raise up from the confusion and see the truth. The truth transcends illusion. And there's a lot of clearing up of past energy, of past corruption. So this person could well have been unfaithful or deceptive or irresponsible, because it says responsible action, correcting past mistakes. And I feel like for you, you feel that you've had to take responsible action. You've had to correct your involvement. Maybe you didn't know this person was involved or in a long-term commitment, but these people are trapped in a past energy. They're trapped in this obsession, is what I'm getting with the past, and it's just like a continual burden. These people just can't move on from the past. I suppose there's some kind of comfort in familiarity, even if it's absolutely miserable and head doing and all the rest of it here. I don't think your person's particularly easy to deal with at this point in time. I think they're quite serious, and they're quite, yeah, they're not got upbeat energy, especially in dealing with this block. They're dealing with a block because they're probably having a crisis, and it's about listening to their intuition. And I feel like because you are, and it says you are your own best teacher, it's like nobody can learn this for them. Even if they wanted somebody to learn it for them or do the work for them, or yeah, they can't do this. They may have gone quiet, they may have ghosted, they may not be speaking much. If they are, they're not expressing how they really feel, is what I'm getting here. But I think this person really feels that you are their soulmate. Even if you don't, I feel like they think you are. And I think that their person might think they are. Yeah, it feels quite confused, again, if they do have a person. But if it's not a lover, it's almost like a family expectation is what I want to say, or a lifestyle is what I'm getting as well here. Some kind of past tie is the feeling here. Almost like it's expected. Listening to Beethoven on tape is not quite the same as listening to a live orchestra, is it? I feel like they know how it should sound, but it sounds far away and distant. They are far away and distant. And I think they're becoming more distant energetically for you, because, and you're healing. Dispersion, diffuse negativity, restore harmony, circulate, revitalize, dissolve divisions, and lighten up. So the energy that felt really heavy, that was tying you down, is being dispersed. And you had to learn to release yourself here. There is a sense that a very significant part of this lesson was being pitched into a crisis, probably having, a tower moment, having everything fall apart, feeling really, really confused about what had gone on. This may have been some time, I'm thinking maybe even a few years here, for you to get through this muddle, this confusion. But now you see the light, and the second that your head hits the surface of this water, you will jump at speed into an ascension, and then you are looking for the next cycle and preparing for union. Any former versions of yourself that weren't authentic are being dropped away. You're releasing, because look how he's dropped the mask. He is who he is in the world. This particular card is the same as the Fool in the tarot deck. And he is how... Oh, my cat's just about to walk all over the cards, obviously. Yes, hello. Yes, of course. Yes, it's all about you. Hang on. Right, yes, right. We've had a cuddle, and now it's all fine. So, yeah, you're getting to this healthy, strong, dispersing, diffusing of negative space, because you know that in releasing it, it lightens your energy, it frees you. Look, he's literally floating above the world. It's an elevated position that you find yourself in, and the freedom card has got kind of wings on it, and it's given me that sense again of the ascension, of the elevation, and it's happening fast. It's happening fast. You'll find creative power and drive coming at you at speed. If you're not already connected to this energy, you will be. And this sandpiper spirit, I love this. Look how daft that bird looks. It says be playful. And it's next to the joy card. I put it down here because I feel like your energy is naturally playful. Some of you could be very funny, very witty, could be quite dry, could be, you know how to use the lighter energy to disperse heavy energy. You know how to inject humour into a situation. You know how to laugh at things. And that is really lifting any karmic residue that you have with this person, any weightedness that you might be connected to in terms of their energetic content, because I think some of you may be feeling that from their space. This sorrow, this tear feels like heavy, and it feels internalized as well. I feel like this person probably needs to really cry, because I feel like they've been greedy. I know it doesn't say greedy, but there's the greediness coming through with this lustful energy. desiring of something, possibly something that someone had to offer, or stability again is what I'm getting. It could be goods, but I feel like they've tied themselves into this concept of tradition. Now, I want to talk about this High Honor card, because what I'm getting with this is that there is expectation here on your person, and maybe this was something that existed for you in the past, from others. I feel like, I mean, this is a military card, and I feel like it was, you know, there's a way of doing things, an official way of doing things that feels like is very heavy, very weighted, and all these guns going off, it feels like sort of loud and impossible to ignore. It may be that your person felt that it was impossible to ignore this, but for you, I'm hearing spirit guide. I'm hearing spirit guides. I feel like there could be strong ancestral guidance, but I also feel that there's something of high honor, a high level spirit guide is what I'm getting from this, which is interesting. This spirit guide may be quite driven, maybe quite entertaining. Maybe a feminine doesn't have to be, but I am getting that this guide is really significant. If you haven't connected with this space, do try to connect, because I feel like this is a high level frequency that's coming through, and it's not to be overlooked. It's not to be used to the utmost of its capability and its wisdom and its knowledge and its experience is what I'm getting. Whether it's an ancestral frequency or whether it is a spiritual frequency, an angelic frequency. These wings are coming through to me now here. I feel like it's got a lot to share, and it's going to propel you forward. It's literally almost like you're the cannonball. Boom! Your slingshot out of this into a completely new concept, and I feel like you're going to release all of the negativity that you may have felt in this situation. You're going to recognize that you are holding on to past frequencies. You are here to inspire this person to be able to see what it is like to release themselves, how to release yourself, because this person is very trapped, very stuck, very sad, trying very hard to kind of make repair or make reparation, or possibly look after this frequency that it could be close to them, but this is emotional manipulation. This frequency close to them knows that they can push the buttons of your person like a cassette tape in order to get them to behave in the way that they expect them or want them to behave. I feel like this person that your person is dealing with, or knows how to block your person, is actually very belligerent and is actually plays on this lacking energy. Both of these individuals may play on the energy of lack, may play the victim, may blame each other for things. They get into that cycle. They may get into that cycle where, you know, it's always the other person's fault. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. I would feel like this if it wasn't for you. It's the same thing on repeat. It's wearing out. It's worn out. It's really worn out. That's what I'm getting here. And it's so continually confusing. And they like to confuse each other, these two. They like to keep each other in a sense of confusion, because one does not want to release the other, because they both feel trapped, I think. They both feel that they desire something from this situation. And I'm feeling that it could be a strong codependency. It doesn't have to be, but when both are in a crisis, who's going to rescue? Because you've got that psychology triangle that's springing to mind of the rescuer, the perpetrator, and the victim. And if you participate in any of those energies, you also participate in the other. And it's so true. If you're victimized, you want to be rescued, you may perpetrate emotional manipulation or all kinds of energetics in order to be perceived that way, in order to want something your way, or and you can get round and round and round in that loop, and that's what I feel is going on here. But your person, if they're not in it, they're just about to have a crashing tower moment, and the realization is the love that they lost is what I'm getting. I'm seeing a bow and arrow, like Cupid's arrow, but I'm seeing it miss its mark. It feels like this person is refusing to put their own needs, their own desire for freedom, their own joy, their own playful energy, their own creativity, their own sense of strength or health above the needs of what they feel is expected of them by society, by friends, by family. They may have bound themselves into this situation, like I say, but yeah. But you, on the other hand, are jettisoning. It's going to, whatever you're working on, I think it's going to elevate at high speed. If it's your health that has suffered, or your mental health, your physical health, you are suddenly going to feel like an enormous surge of energy. The Queen of Wands is highly active for me. She's a can-do kind of a card. It's like it will be done. There's a driven motivational determination about this, and you're determined to feel lighter. You're determined to release this. You're determined to get to that vibrational frequency of love that you're looking for, and you're en route. You are en route, and it might come in super quickly. Almost get the feeling that that as soon as this is closed down completely for you, it's going to come in at speed. But your person is suffering from obstacles. They're suffering from intense difficulties, I feel, disappointment, discouragement. They're requiring strength. But there are multiple frustrations here because somebody is literally standing in their way who really does not want to let them release themselves, or this is their mindset that is standing in their way, that doesn't want to release themselves. And they do feel cowed, and they do feel ashamed, and they do feel cowardly. And I don't think they've acknowledged the truth. I don't think they've articulated the truth to you. And you might be aware of that. I don't think you're waiting. I think you're going, okay, fine, see you later. Whatever. I've got stuff to do. I've got my freedom to embrace and my ascension to be wicked, like, in tune with, and that is absolutely right, because I think that you will be, how does Abraham Hicks say, rendezvoused with a soulmate at high speed. You are going to be struck by Cupid's arrow, maybe a lot sooner than you think, the second that you release on this past situation. Your person might be aware of that, but if it's going to be this person, they have got to let this tower fall. They have got to recognize that they're clinging to the past. They've got to recognize the person that they're with could be quite materialistic, or wants something from them, or wants to be supported by them, and is blocking their joy, blocking their motivational force. And it's okay for you to be like highly visible is what I'm getting. In the world, because it's very inspirational as this person can see that it's possible to release. So you are my leaders. You are the people that lead the way and guide the light for others who feel that they're stuck and cannot get out of this situation. And because you were in it, that's what I'm feeling, because you were in it. But so you're further along the journey, you're passing the baton back, releasing any residual energetics so that you can just orbit. So yeah, well done, people. This is a lovely energetic to read for, and I really hope that resonated with you. And if it did, please like, subscribe, share, drop me a comment. So lovely to hear from you, and I'll read for you again soon. Bye, my darlings.